Two lifeless bodies clad in matching suits lying at the base of a hill in Brazil. Their faces obscured by eerie, handmade lead masks. A cryptic note hinting at a mysterious rendezvous and the ingestion of unknown capsules. This is the scene that greeted investigators in 1966, and it marked the beginning of a mystery that would haunt them for decades to come. The shock and confusion that must have gripped the young boy who stumbled upon this macabre scene while innocently flying his kite near Morro do Vintém is unimaginable. As he rushed to alert the authorities, little did he know that his discovery would become one of the most perplexing cases in Brazilian history. The sight of the two men, lifeless and shrouded in mystery, was a haunting image that would forever be etched in the minds of those who witnessed it. Manuel Pereira da Cruz and Miguel José Viana, two local radio technicians, lay side by side, their lives cut short in the most baffling of circumstances. The matching suits they wore seemed to suggest a planned meeting, but the purpose behind their homemade lead masks remained a mystery. Were they trying to protect themselves from some unknown danger, or were the masks a part of a bizarre ritual? When the investigators arrived at the scene, they searched for any clues that could shed light on the bizarre circumstances surrounding the two men's deaths. As they looked around, they found a notebook with a strange message inside. The note said, 1630 be at the specified location. 1830 ingest capsules. After the effect, protect metals, await signal mask. This mysterious note hinted at a planned meeting, the use of some kind of capsules, and the need to protect metals while waiting for a signal. But what did it all mean? Nearby, the investigators also found an empty water bottle and a packet containing 2 wet towels. These items suggested that the men had prepared for something. But what? The clues were intriguing, but they only led to more questions. The investigators learned that Manuel and Miguel had told their families they were going on a trip to Sao Paulo on August 17th, just a few days before their bodies were found. However, Sao Paulo was over 800 miles away from where they were found in Niterói, which was only about 80 miles from their homes. Why would they say they were going to Sao Paulo when they ended up in Niterói? It didn't make sense. People who had seen the men that day came forward with their own strange stories. A local man named Raulino de Matos said he saw the two men riding in a jeep with a blonde man he didn't recognize, and possibly 1 or 2 other people. A waitress at a bar in Niterói remembered Miguel seeming very nervous and constantly looking at his watch. These accounts made the case even more complicated, suggesting that there were other people involved and that the men were following some kind of schedule. As soon as people heard about the lead mask case, they started coming up with all sorts of ideas about what might have happened to Manuel and Miguel. Some people thought that the two men were part of a secret group called the Scientific Spiritualists. This group was interested in making contact with beings from other worlds or dimensions. One theory was that the men wore lead masks to protect their eyes from the bright light that these beings might give off. This idea came from a book that the police found during their investigation. In the book, some passages were highlighted that talked about the intense luminosity of the beings the men were trying to contact. Another theory was that the men might have used drugs like psychedelics to help them communicate with these otherworldly entities. People who knew about the scientific spiritualists said that this group often used these kinds of drugs in their attempts to make contact. Some people even thought that the men could have been part of a UFO cult that ended up taking their own lives, similar to what happened with the Heaven's Gate group and others. They thought that the lead masks, the matching suits, and the cryptic note all pointed to some kind of strange ritual. There were also whispers about a possible government cover-up. Some believed that the men might have stumbled upon something they weren't supposed to know, and that the authorities were hiding the truth. A few people suggested that maybe Manuel and Miguel had faked their own deaths for some mysterious reason, and that they were still out there somewhere. Even the media got caught up in the frenzy. One local newspaper ran a story claiming that a witness had seen a strange round orange object in the sky near the location where the bodies were found. They described it as a multicolored egg-shaped UFO with a ring of fire and blue rays coming out of it. This only added fuel to the rumors and made the case even more famous. In the end, none of these theories could be proven. The lack of evidence and the many unknowns of the case made it impossible to say for sure what had happened to Manuel and Miguel. The lead mask case remains a mystery, and the theories and whispers about it continue to this day, capturing the imaginations of people who are drawn to the strange and unexplained.